Breaking news from Tigray, Afar border where drone strikes have been conducted. Drone strikes have been carried out, but everyone is silent. No statement from Tigray government, no statement from the federal government of Ethiopia. So what happened? What was targeted? At what time the strikes were conducted? Where were the strikes conducted? Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching the channel. Uh, in last night's live chat, I told you about leakage of a conversation between General Sadkan Gebretensai and TPF members. And in that conversation, Sadkan assured TPF members that federal government will provide ground support and air support to TPF members. And I said that if federal government conducts drone strikes, that will be a confirmation of the authenticity of communication between Sadkan and TPF. Several people wrote in comment section of last night's live chat that other Ethiopian YouTubers also shared the news about this leaked conversation. I don't know. I don't watch anyone. I don't know the local languages. I don't watch anyone. Maybe they reported. Maybe they reported before I did. But I get information from the people who I trust. What others are saying, I don't know what they are saying. But after confirmation of the information, I did a video, I did a live chat, and I told you that federal government could conduct drone strikes to support TPF. By the way, federal government is backing TPF. And in last night's live chat, I told you that TPF suffered losses. I said that Tigray military's incursion into Afar targeted Tigray peace force. Not a single Afar local has been killed or even injured. TPF members were hit. Tigray forces had sufficient intelligence about the location of TPF members in Afar, and Tigray forces entered Afar. They targeted those areas where TPF was based. Obviously, TPF is backed by the government of PM Abiy. If PM Abiy does not support TPF now, no one will continue being part of TPF. People will just return to Tigray. Abiy has been raising TPF. How can Abiy how can Abiy accept the losses suffered by TPF at the hands of Tigray forces in Afar? So, intervention by federal government was expected, and that is what happened. Federal government is not intervening through ground operation. Federal government could have ordered ENDF. ENDF is there in eastern Ethiopia, in Afar. Asifa Chikol is leading the ENDF command. He's a general in this part of Afar region. But federal government chose the option of using drones against Tigray fighters. So at around 2 a.m. last night, the drone strikes were conducted. I got the information at around 3:30 a.m. But such news should always be verified. We cannot just make videos on each and everything which is coming. We need to verify. So since last night, we've been working on it. Now, I think I have confirmed it to a large extent. So it's difficult to get the exact confirmation unless you have pictures, videos. But to the best of my abilities, I think I have confirmed it that at 2 a.m. last night, Ethiopian Airforce conducted drone strikes on Tigray fighters. The strikes were conducted on Afar Tigray border. It's Afar territory reportedly. Two targets were hit. The targets were Tigray soldiers who entered the Afar region. Their vehicles and ammunition storage sites were targets reportedly. How much is the loss suffered by Tigray military? We don't know. Tigray Peace and Security Bureau issued a statement. Tigray interim government issued a statement yesterday. They have denied any military entry into Afar. They say they never entered Afar region. They haven't started a conflict. This is what Tigray's official position is. So now when Tigray fighters have been hit in a drone strike in the Afar region, how can they say that drone strikes have been conducted on their fighters? But they're denying their presence in Afar. Since they deny their presence in Afar, they cannot raise this issue of drone strikes on their fighters in Afar. Ethiopian government would say, okay, show us the evidence if we have conducted drone strikes on your fighters in Tigray. You say you haven't entered Afar, you are in Tigray. Do you have any evidence that we conducted drone strike in Tigray? You have no evidence. So Tigray government won't, I think, it's not in a position to raise this issue. Federal government, I said in last night's live chat, has told all its activists, social media influencers to be quiet on the matter. Yesterday, instructions were passed that no one should make videos about federal government response or about what is happening on Tigray Afar border. Why? Federal government was planning to hit Tigray fighters through drone strikes. Even now, there are not lots of PP-backed activists who are confirming the drone strikes by Ethiopian military on Tigray fighters in the Afar region. They have been told to be silent. At 2 a.m., the strikes were conducted. What does it show? It shows that Ethiopian drones have the capability to operate at night, which is not surprising. Maybe the foreign drones were used. Ethiopia has TB2s, it has Akinjis, it has Winglongs. All these can easily operate at night. And Afar, I think, has clear skies. It's easy to hit targets in Afar, though the area is mountainous where the strikes were conducted. Tigray fighters entered Afar, 15 kilometer deep. They entered Afar, but they haven't entered the Afar plains. They're still in the mountainous areas. The strikes were conducted around Tonsa Kabale. Around Tonsa. From Tonsa, Tigray fighters entered Afar region. Through Tonsa, they entered Afar region. They went deep. They captured 6 villages. They hit TPF members. TPF suffered losses. And then Ethiopian federal government took retaliatory action. So coming hours are crucial now. Let's see what happens. Will Tigray government, Ethiopian federal government, confirm these strikes or not? And what will be the response of Tigray now? Will Tigray and its allies, Tigray military, TPLF and their allies, Eritrea, Fano, Ola, will they launch a counter-attack, a large-scale attack on the Ethiopian military? Or will Tigray forces withdraw into Tigray and they won't think of second attack on Tigray peace force? In the next few hours, things will be clear. But let's see, will any party confirm the drone strikes or not? Not. Federal government won't confirm because federal government is conducting drone strikes in Amhara on Fano. but not a single strike has been accepted by federal government in its statements. Federal government does not acknowledge strikes because if you acknowledge the strikes that have been conducted by your forces, you could be charged. You could face allegations of human rights abuses because civilians die too in these strikes. So federal government won't confirm that. Let's see what Tigray says in coming hours. Thanks for watching.